to jump into the next section, and we have Jeremy Korman from our product marketing team joining us to take us through everything that's new with self-service. Jeremy, how are you?
I'm doing great, Andrew. It is just an absolute pleasure to be here.
Well, Jeremy, it's great having you here again. So self-service, more important than ever. I think we saw that come through again in our benchmark report. Would love to just start with some background into the importance of self-service as a part of a business's overall content strategy.
Yeah, with our CX Trends report, we've seen this in the past. We've seen it again with this most recent one. But we just see consistently that teams that embrace self-service are more successful. They're higher performers. They have faster first response times. They have better customer satisfaction. It's really just one of those areas where it's a win-win-win. It's better for customers, better for agents, better for the business.
Well, so I suspect you're here on What's New to tell us about how we are making our self-service capabilities even better for a business's customers, for a business's agents. So I'd love for you to start with that.
Yeah. So, at the root of it, self-service is just about helping people find the answers to their questions on their own. And this first feature, federated search, really helps with that. So with federated search, it's all about bringing in external content and making it discoverable through your Help Center search. So of course, we know that one of the best places to put the answers to your questions is in a Help Center article, but sometimes answers live in other places. Sometimes companies have written amazing blog posts, or they have a data sheet that's all the specifics about a product. There's just these great places that already have a ton of information. And sometimes it's actually better to point people to those sources than it is to point them to a Help Center article. So with federated search, what you can do is you can take these external sources of information, map them in. So when someone does go to your Help Center and they do search for something, they'll find these external sources, they click the link, and they'll go directly to wherever that thing is.
I see a lot of good use cases for federated search for a business's agents, for a business's customers, and just being able to surface up information from a variety of different places, put it in front of someone so they can find what they need quickly is a big win. Why don't we jump into the product, Jeremy, and check it out? I want to see what federated search looks like.
Let's do it. Alrighty, so let me show you an example of where federated search can come in very handy. So we're looking at the Green Bank Help Center right here. This is where people come to ask questions about their banking or finances. Now, some information lives here, but we also have blog posts that have a wealth of information as well. This article about becoming a better investor is really handy, and it also touches on things like Bitcoin. So right now, if I go to my Help Center and I search for Bitcoin, I'm not going to find any results because I don't have any articles that talk about this. So this is where federated search comes in. So with federated search, I've worked with the federated search API to map in this external source of data, which is these blog posts. And once you do that, you'll see this new source show up right here. So to turn it on, I'll just check this box, click save, and then let's go do that search again. So same exact search, but now we see that article show up on becoming a better investor. And when I click on this, it'll take me directly to that blog post. And that's what federated search is all about. It's about helping customers find the information to their questions, regardless of whether it lives in your Help Center or somewhere else.
So Jeremy, federated search looks incredibly powerful. Being able to search across a variety of places where a business stores knowledge is a huge win for any business that is looking to improve their self-service. And on the thread of improving self-service, I want to talk about our next set of updates. I think they all sort of center around making your content better, more discoverable. Could you touch on some of the new releases there?
Yeah, absolutely. So this next thing is, I think it's really interesting. It's about content queues. So as a quick reminder, if you haven't heard of content queues, it's basically this amazing AI-powered feature that looks through all the questions that your customers are submitting and tries to identify the trends to say, hey, people are asking a lot about this particular topic, and it's really good to know about that, especially when it comes to self-service, because it helps you identify opportunities to fill gaps in your knowledge base. Like maybe people are asking a ton of questions about a topic and you just don't have something to address that. Content queues helps point that out and helps you fill that gap. So in particular, what I'm excited to share with you here is the updates we've made to content queues. And I kind of distill it down to two things. One is more languages, and the second thing is more tickets. And what I mean by that is, first of all, content queues has really only been available in English until today. But now with this update, content queues works in German, Spanish, and Portuguese. So if you're supporting customers in those languages, you can take advantage of content queues as well. The second part on more tickets, What we've really done here is previously with content queues, we'd say, hey, this is something that's important. This is a trend. And we've clustered tickets to help you understand that. But you could really only see 3 example tickets. With this update, you can see all the tickets that we've tagged. So what we've heard from admin is they say, hey, this is really great. It's good to know that there is some trend, but I want to be able to look through as many tickets as possible to dig into the details and really understand, what's going on here. So with this update, you can do that.
Content queues and the ability to see those support topics that are suggested in your knowledge base are like really, really, really powerful for a business, I feel like. Especially as a business grows and populates their knowledge base with so much content, there's only so much that a human can do and keep up with and understand. And so having AI, ML, whichever way you want to describe it, sort of backing up your team to help you create great content is awesome, I think.
Yeah, I think this is one of the coolest features. This uses the same AI power that, the same algorithm that powers AnswerBot. And sometimes I just think about it. It's like, how cool is it to think, like, what if you had one person on your team whose whole job was just to read every single ticket? They had a perfect memory. They spotted all the trends. They told you what people are asking about. That's basically what Content Queues is doing for you. It's just so cool.
That's really powerful. So, Jeremy, on the thread of understanding your content and where you have gaps, I think a lot of folks are also always looking to just know how their content is being engaged with and where there's room for improvement. I know that we have some, I would say, highly anticipated reporting updates for when it comes to self-service as well. Do you want to touch on those items too?
Yeah, so the first update here is we have a new out-of-the-box knowledge-based reporting dashboard in Explore. So if you've been with Zendesk for a while, you maybe have seen these analytics in various places, but what's exciting here is this is just that continued story of making Explore the one place to see everything across every product in Zendesk. So if you put the time and effort into building a help center, one of the things you're going to want to know is, are people looking at it? And if they are, who are they? And how are they accessing it? So the answers to just, some of these very basic questions are now so easy to understand with this out-of-the-box dashboard. You can see the number of views you're getting on your help center, what your most popular articles are, or what your least popular articles are. It's just so much really good stuff that lets you understand how people are utilizing, all the work that you're putting into creating your help center.
I love it. And so my last question that I have for you around our release is, this is great to understand how end users are engaging with your content. I think as a support team grows, they oftentimes add more folks into the content creation, I would say, equation. You might go from one content creator to maybe 5, 10, and start to build out some approval workflows. I know with team publishing, we have helped businesses manage some of that. I think the last thing I'd like to talk about is how we are enhancing that with reporting.
Yeah, absolutely. So especially with larger companies, or really for any size company, we just know that if you take an iterative approach to building out your knowledge base, you're going to be more successful. If you try to do it all like one and done, it's going to help somewhat, but it's just not the best way. The more you can continually be improving it, the more success you're going to see. And team publishing is a really critical part of doing that right. So team publishing is basically a feature that lets you work as a team to draft, review, publish content, all without ever having to leave Guide. So with this new dashboard, we have a team publishing dashboard in Explore where you can see things like who's writing the most articles, who's translating the most articles, how is your team working together to do this over a time range? You can see that activity saying like, how many new articles have we written this quarter? How many articles have we reviewed this quarter? All those kind of basic things that help you understand how well are you working as a team to keep your knowledge base up to date, to keep it fresh, because we know that ultimately that'll make you and your customers more successful.
I agree. And I want to check these ones out. I know that we had gone through and seen what federated search looks like. Let's do the same for analytics. I want to see some of these new reports and just how easy it is for a business to use it.
Yeah, that sounds great. Let me show you around the dashboard. Alrighty, so I'm here in the team publishing dashboard in Explore. And right at the top, you got some of your core metrics. We can see that we've created 77 articles, edited 26, and published 41. And that's a good way to just get a high level pulse on what's happening. But I like to look at this using the next trend to see what's happening over this time period. So it's nice to see a graph like this where you can see that there's a continual amount of activity. It wasn't just a one and done exercise. We're constantly tweaking, updating, and making sure that our content is reflecting the questions that our customers are asking. But my favorite part of this dashboard is down at the bottom where you can see what's happening on an individual basis. So I can sort, for example, by articles created and see that Martin is just crushing it by leading the pack and creating 20 new articles for us. So that's a great way to get a sense of what's happening across your team when it comes to your team publishing activity.
Well, Jeremy, thank you so much for coming on and talking about everything that's new with self-service. There's no shortage of releases here, and I'm sure that people are going to want to learn more. I'm guessing that in the chat right now, there are a bunch of people asking about where can you find the dashboards, how can you turn them on, or how can I get started with federated search, where is content queues? We have all of those resources in the sidebar. I think it's somewhere on the left or the right of me, so people can find those resources, learn more about all these releases. And I don't know, Jeremy, if you want to give your email away so people can bother you, but I'm kidding about that. Thank you so much for jumping on, though, and telling us about everything new with self-service.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Andrew. And yeah, thanks to everyone at home for watching. It's been a pleasure.
Great. So let's go ahead and move along here. I think everything we just covered in terms of self-service is fantastic, and we have a lot of great things coming for agents as well.